Manchester City will be playing against Manchester United on the 10th of August, Saturday, for the Community Shield. Now, of course, this is the last pre-season game and for the Man City. And let's get through it. Well, it's probably the last pre-season game in general. Let's get through it here. And there's two approaches that are possible here. One approach is, you know what, we're playing against Manchester United. Let's get the best 11 out. The other is, fuck this game, it's a pre-season tournament. You know, Pep Guardiola likes going that route. Now, maybe not all of these players, but you could see something of the likes here. And then maybe Bernardo Silva on right wing instead of Doku. You could see something like this. But let's not even talk about that. This is a lot more interesting, isn't it? And let's go through it. So, pre-season, everyone is back in training. For those who have been paying attention, you might see Cancelo there. Cancelo has been training with the team again. Don't want to comment too much on him. I will get there at the end. But for the players that will actually be playing in the Community Shield, because I don't think Cancelo will be playing, let me go through them first and then I'll come back to Cancelo. Now, if Pep Guardiola takes this competition seriously, I reckon Ake goes back to being our left back. Because he has been terrific as left back. He was our best defender in the treble season. He was, next to Haaland and De Bruyne, the shared third best player in that treble season, period. Ake was brilliant in the treble season. The only reason he did not play in last season is circumstance. Because Guardiola is, quite frankly, this guy over here, the most talented defender that has been born. Well, actually I think he's older than me. I was gonna say that has been born in my lifetime, but I'm pretty sure he's older than me. So, yeah, not in my lifetime, but you get the point. He's the most talented young defender I have seen in a long time. That's my point. So, I believe Ake is going back to the left back spot. And why is that? Why is Ake going back here on left back? Well, we have our left winger now, our right winger. Doku is our right winger and he plays good on the right wing. Stop convincing yourself, he doesn't. We have backup wingers. And we have a good midfield. So what was Guardiola doing before? He was stepping into midfield from left back, or he was going up and playing as the left winger. He will not do either of that because our midfield is good enough and our wingers are good enough as well. But you do see he's in this box midfield here. And that's the interesting part, I believe. Being in this box midfield, he can rotate with Stones, somebody who is always injured, for this role where you go from a centre back position and step up into box midfield. So that is what I'm expecting here from Guardiola, not just in Community Shield, all of next season. And Stones, if he plays as well, I suppose, if he's not injured for once, then Ake can go back to his position, left back, and he doesn't really have a lot of competition. He has backup. If he gets injured, Guardiola can play there. But Guardiola isn't really competing. He's just an option. I don't think Ake will have any competition next season on his left back spot. And he'll play all season. And he'll be great. Then Akanji, playing right wing because I don't trust Walker anymore. But Rico Lewis could also play right... sorry, did I say right wing? I meant right back. Rico Lewis could also play right back. You can rotate them, one or the other, I'm fine with both. Akanji provides you experience, Rico Lewis provides you a bit more pace. Just a little bit more pace, because Akanji isn't slow, by any means. Then Diaz, of course, because it's Ruben Diaz, best box defender in the world, maybe except for, I guess, Rudiger. Well, tell me down below in the comments. Completely unrelated. Diaz or Rudiger, who is better? As a box defender, not in general, I think Rudiger is better in general, but just purely in this box area. Diaz or Rudiger, who do you pick? Tell me down below. Anyhow, that's completely unrelated. Then, as our attacking options, obviously De Bruyne and Foden and Haaland all play. Doku has been terrific, and wait, let's see, Bernardo Silva is falling off a cliff right now. But you also have Oscar de Bob. You could place all three of them on this position. All three of them, that is fine by me. Grealish, again, left wing, don't. I think Savio is better. I have watched Girona, by the way. I just think, give Savio the game, or at least 60 minutes, and let Savio show, because he hasn't played yet for City. He wasn't on pre-season tour. Let City fans see what Savio is all about. Let us see who is this guy, what can he do for Man City, what will he do for Man City. So that is why I believe he will probably play. Because Pep is probably thinking, yeah, I need to give this Savio guy at least some minutes before the actual season starts. And then, well, I don't know quite how you're gonna argue with me that Haaland won't play. For anyone who thinks Haaland isn't playing, bar injury, explain that to me. Obviously Haaland is playing. So that is if we take the competition seriously. And now I promise I will talk about Cancelo last. And that is for the substitutions and for the style of play. How will we play qua style? I actually predict that we will be closer to the treble season this year, or this season, than we were last season. Last season we tried to imitate the treble season, but it didn't quite work. We had false wingers, we had all of this crazy stuff because we didn't have Stones, who was crucial for that treble season. And we also didn't have Grealish. Now we have Grealish again, and we have Gvardiol and Stones who can both play the same role. So, now if we try to play this more treble-like system, I think it can work. Savio is obviously not Grealish, and he provides something very different from Grealish. So I'm expecting us to pretty much play like in the treble season, but with wingers bombing down the pitch constantly. In the treble season, what we did is we went through midfield and we had a box midfield and you could not beat us in midfield, and our winger would at some point go inside, he would get the ball and he would score. That is how Bernardo Silva scored twice against Real Madrid, for example. And if you don't, by the way, don't get close enough to this box midfield, okay, great, now the winger can't come inside. Oh, but De Bruyne will score a goal from distance. Or Rodri will score a goal from distance. Which again, Bayern München and Real Madrid. Bayern München at home, I believe, and Real Madrid away. That's how we scored those goals. Now I believe it will be a little bit different, but I think the principle is the same. So we'll have wingers bombing down the sides. And now, if you go down the sides too much, you're creating room over here for cutbacks. Okay, great. Have one-on-one defending. With Savio and Doku, I don't think you're gonna do that. So instead, you're really just gonna push teams back to defend completely in the box. Which again, leaves us with a lot of room in midfield. And if you have players like Savio, who can cross a ball with pinpoint accuracy, Haaland will score. Haaland will score at some point from Savio's crosses. And if he doesn't, you'll have a shot from distance from either De Bruyne, Foden, or maybe Rodri. I suppose Gvardiol too. He scored some really beautiful goals from distance last season. Like near the end of the season, he was really scoring a lot from distance. Maybe you see that again. I'm expecting us to dominate Manchester United, specifically in this game. And then I'm going to look at substitutions, right? Because you have substitutions. How do you make the correct substitutions to be able to continue playing this system of football? I'll get to the craziest at the end, but first a disclaimer. The Community Shield is not a professional game of football. It is a charity game. There are different rules. That means you have 8 substitutions in the Community Shield. 8, not 5. I don't think we will use all of our 8 substitutions, but I do think we'll use maybe 6 or something like that. So I want to discuss every possible substitution. That doesn't necessarily mean we will make this substitution though. So, right back, Rico Lewis and Akanji. Of course, you can one will start, the other will come off the bench. That's what I reckon. Oscar de Bob, I reckon, and Bernardo Silva will all be competing for this right wing spot with Doku. Now, it could be that Doku starts and Selva comes on, or that Bob starts and Doku comes on, or something like that, right? Or that Selva starts, Bob comes on. Doesn't really matter. What does matter is you're gonna see one of these three players start and one of the two other ones come on for them, I reckon. Savio, he's only really getting competition from Grealish, but I suppose Doku can play on that left wing side as well, so maybe you have Doku here on the left wing instead. We'll see during the game. Then De Bruyne, I'll get to him last because that's very interesting. Foden, I reckon, might be taken off for Kovacic. Like, let's say we are winning like by 3 goals. Take Kovacic off, or take Foden off, put Kovacic on and play a more defensive system with maybe a double pivot. Like, then you have Gvardiol here, you have Kovacic here, and you have De Bruyne here, and now you're playing with a double pivot, right? So you might be seeing something like that. If we are winning by quite a good amount. You might also see Oscar Bob play here. Again, if, let's say, Doku and Silva get this right wing, you might see Bob stepping into midfield. All of these are possibilities. Aki, I reckon, will probably play the entire game. Or maybe Gvardiol will play parts of it, but I reckon Aki is playing the entire game. Stones, I don't quite know. I think Stones might not play at all, because he is injury prone. Do you really want to play an injury prone player in a preseason game? When you know he's good? I don't think so. Maybe not. And then, the last one. Kevin De Bruyne. Who do you take De Bruyne off for? You could do Kovacic. But what about this man right here? Hear me out. Cancelo is not leaving. He is welcomed back at Manchester City's training. And we, as fans, don't actually know what happened between Cancelo and Pep Guardiola. If Cancelo and Pep have made up with each other, then maybe Cancelo can come back. We don't know what's going on behind closed doors. Or maybe Cancelo has said to Pep Guardiola, I think what I did was not wrong, but I want to leave Manchester City and I want some game time so that you can find an adequate buy for me. Maybe that's the logic. In that case, it's very possible that it's like two people just can't stand each other, but they have the agreement of, okay, you will get some minutes so that we can find a replacement for you. Or so that we can sell you off. Now, Cancelo attacking midfield. Cancelo attacking midfield. Tell me, tell me in the comments. How much crack am I on? Tell me down below. Tell me what you think about everything I've talked about. Tell me how terrible this looks. Please, just take this game seriously, Pep. Like, I know it's a preseason game, but I want to see some football again. And I have been bored to death recently, yeah? With this preseason football, where we are playing like a bunch of kids, with per se, Bart Simpson I call him, and Asbrunt, all of these terrible footballers who can't track a ball. I'm so bored of that. Can we please just watch a proper game of football? That's all I ask for. Tell me what you guys think down below. Do you think we'll take the game seriously? Do you think we'll just throw it away like we always do with Community Shield? Maybe we won't. It's Manchester United this time, yeah? United, rivals kinda. Not in recent years, but rivals. Won the FA Cup against us. Still believe Pep has to take responsibility for that in some way, but that's completely unrelated. Thank you for watching to the end. Please like and subscribe if you're new around the channel. Helps out a bunch. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.